Willkommen und hallo, mein Chilli Con Carnage Crew. Ich bin ein Chili und this ist eine 5 Minuten Recension. Or in other words, welcome to the 5-minute review. I am Chilli, and here we are. This episode is going to be on the German metal gods Rammstein and their 8th album called Zeit, which means time. Now, I don't think anyone needs a history lesson on Rammstein, but they love fire and are a heavy metal band famous for their 1998 song Du Hast. Du hast mich. So, let's get into the album. Zeit begins with the first track, Armee der Tristan, or Army of the Dreary Ones. And at first listen, I felt a bit dreary about this song. Look, it's not a bad song, but it's a ballsy choice for an opening track. In the past, we have had slower tracks as openers like Mein Herz brennt or Deutschland, but these songs have been grandiose and had a larger-than-life sound to them. This track isn't the worst thing they've recorded, not by a long shot, and maybe it's missing a live setting on top of it, but I felt slightly underwhelmed by this track overall. The title track Zeit is the following track and sees the band take a while to build up. Hey, that works in with the title of this track. This was the first single from the album, and as I understand, the first person to hear it was French astronaut Thomas Pesquet from the International Space Station. Okay, fair enough. Talk about setting your sights high. This is another decent track, but again I feel pretty underwhelmed by it. Schwarz is the following track, and it means black, and this is a rather spacious tune. I appreciate the mature sound from the band here, and have to say, it's a decent effort, but it just ain't my jam. Next track. Giftig is next, and this track means toxic. And this is where the album really kicks up the ante. This track feels more energetic than the previous songs, and it's probably due to the nature of the song, which seems to be about a toxic relationship. This is the Rammstein that I love. Zigzag is up next, and means snip snap. I love this riff from the track. It's so Rammstein. It uses their signature sound of a clean guitars before kicking off with its deep distortion during the chorus. This track is the second single from the album and is truly great to hear. OK is the following song and is short for Ohne Kondom, which means without condom. Did you think you were getting through a Rammstein album without sexual references? As if. This is one kick-ass Rammstein track, and I think it's a really overlooked track on this album. I can see the mosh pit just going crazy during the first part of this track if performed live, and when it slows down in the second half of the track, the crowd would just open up with lights flashing so strong it would give people without epilepsy seizures. Man, I really love this track. Meine Tränen is the next one, and it means my tears. And as far as slow Rammstein songs goes, it's not a bad track. It's a great addition to their songs. I dig the guitars playing their parts throughout the song with the thick bass line, and of course the drums keeping that magnificent pace throughout. A very solid song. Angst is the following song and means fear. This is one grand song that just builds. Lindemann's vocals are super impressive as he builds himself up to a larger-than-life growl of a vocal delivery, especially right towards the end of the song, where it just feels like he's going to come through your headphones or audio device and just scream right in your face those final lines of the track. The track has impressive editing throughout, and I'm just blown away by it. Dicke Titten is up next and means big titties. Haha, good one, Rammstein. You got another one in. No pun intended. Yeah, this song is about the Magna Carta and the in-depth analysis on Europe afterwards. Yeah, nah, it's about big titties. And when you got a song about tig old biddies, you need a big old riff to suit, and the lads just deliver. The build-up with the keys is amplified when the entire band drops away, and I found this in a super impressive moment of the track. A killer track for this album. Lugen is the following track and means lies. This song can feel angelic with the opening string arrangement, but this gives way to the band coming in like a 200-foot tidal wave, which disappears as quickly as it arrived. Now, musically, I get where they are going with this track, and I do love it to a degree, but the use of the auto-tune throughout is so over the top that it's very annoying. This bugs me because it probably has the best riff on this album. Again, the meaning of this song is called Lies, and then using auto-tune to sing is a brilliant choice, but dial it down or maybe use another effect or something. Otherwise, this is a very great track. I love this track. It's a kind of love-hate relationship regarding the vocals in this piece. Adju is the album closer, and the song, to me at least, seems to be like Rammstein's variation to the song So Long, Farewell from The Sound of Music.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu.
Adieu, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen.
It wouldn't surprise me if this was the case. This is their sense of humour, and it suits the band's sound well. It's a great track that will surely close out the tours, and maybe it leads into their encore songs. Who knows, but it's a great closer to this album. My initial playthrough was very underwhelming at first. In fact, I was dreading writing this review, thinking I was going to have to discuss a band I love so much in a negative light. But after subsequent playthroughs, I grew to love this album more and more. It just took a bit of time, and to me, the opening tracks really didn't help, as I feel they are probably the weakest points on the album. Maybe the other aspect was I was expecting the band to put out like another Do Hast or something. There are some great tracks here, and I am certainly not complaining that the band put an album out less than 3 years after their previous one. But I guess COVID did that and forced every artist to really go back and start recording more material. Rammstein's not excluded, of course. It is early days still, and maybe this album will grow on me further later on, but I definitely feel this is not their strongest work. For one, no songs stood out as standalone songs. Zigzag is a worthy mention, but I wouldn't rate its hook and appeal as high as, say, Deutschland from the previous album, and I guess that's what I'm trying to say. While this is a pretty solid album, I don't think any tracks from here are worthy of being top tier bangers. Yeah, you can say it's still early days, and sure, that's a point, but when I heard Deutschland, I knew that this was going to be one massive track, and I was instantly gravitated towards that track, like many others. After all, it's their second highest streamed song on Spotify. I can't see this album getting the same love like the previous one did, but I think the fans will still enjoy it. On the whole, I do enjoy this album, but, well, maybe not the first 3 tracks so much. I can't wait for a tour so I can get what's left of my hair burnt off in the front row of the mosh. Overall, I give this album a score of 2 million chilies. Maybe it's a bit generous, but I think it is worthy of that score. The opening tracks are bringing down the score, of course, but the rest of the album is a very solid piece. Not great, but a very good album. My favourite tracks had to be Zigzag, OK, and Lugen. Tell me below, what were your favourite songs from this album? And let me know your thoughts if you thought it was a great album or if you thought it wasn't so good. Let us know in Twitter or down below in the comments section on YouTube. And everyone, stay spicy. Thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please consider liking it and sharing it with your friends. And also don't forget to subscribe to our Chilli Con Carnage Crew to stay updated on our newest videos. We're also on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Live Listen Erased. Please join us on those media platforms for all kinds of updates and discussions regarding music. And as always, stay spicy.